What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Dan Cave. And today we are going over the 5 mistakes I made while playing Mirrorverse in my first couple months. Now, I wanted to make this video to make sure you guys don't make the same mistakes I made, and we're going to try to break it down as easy as possible. Now, before we jump into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, because I know a lot of you guys watching this aren't subscribed, and I know you want this content because you're watching it all the time. So make sure you do that, hit that bell. That way you guys get notified as the new content drops. So with that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys. So number 1, don't go wide. Don't go wide with those guardians, and make sure you're focusing. And this is one of the hardest things in these games. You see a lot of characters you really enjoy. Maybe you open up a 4-star crystal and you really want to go after that guardian, but you really need to understand where can those guardians be used. So I recommend checking out the tier list if you haven't. I'll make sure to put a link on that. But my tier list really does focus on the different areas that these characters can be used, because it can be more beneficial for you guys to go after a guardian that can be used on 2 towers rather than going with somebody like Aladdin that, well, he doesn't do anything in any of the towers. Now, the hard part about this is all the guardians really are good and they can be used on any kind of team as long as you're building synergy around them. But there's definitely going to be better guardians when you want to make sure you're being efficient with all your resources. So if you've done like me and, well, you can see all these level 30, all these level 20 guardians, you've used a lot of materials that you could have used on your top guardians and pushed yourself even further into the game. So I would recommend checking out those best teams for towers and best teams for dungeons and things like that in order to make sure that who you're investing in is going to push you further in this journey into the Mirrorverse, rather than grabbing the character that, well, maybe you opened up right at the beginning of the game and you can't get away from them. All right, so tip number 2 is going to be these gems, guys. So if you don't know, every time you try to rank up a guardian, you are going to need a certain set of gems, whether it's the first tier 1s, tier 2, or tier 3. You need to make sure that you have a couple that are stored away. Now, if your journey looks a lot like my journey, you've had it happen several times where you get to level 30, you want to rank up your guardian, and you don't have any tier 2 gems. It happens a lot, and a lot of the times those gems can only be farmed on certain days of the week. So I recommend when you're looking in the bazaar, there's the occasional gem that comes around for gold, and or making sure that you farm those on the particular days and store them away just so that you have them for the future. All right, and the last thing I want to point out is those tier 4 diamonds. You're really only going to find those in the Laurel shop, so make sure you're grabbing those early, or you're finally going to get to those top level guardians, and it's going to take you a few weeks to be able to get one to get that level. So make sure you're grabbing those along the way, tucking those away with those laurels from the shop, and, well, it'll set you up for success later on in the game. Speaking of gems, number 3 is going to be all about doing your dungeons and your towers. Now, I know I've done several videos around the dungeons and the towers, so go ahead, check those out if you need more information. But one thing that I didn't do throughout my first couple months in this game is being vigilant about doing my towers and doing my dungeons. Several times I left energy on the table for the dungeons, and, well, that cost me some motes. I didn't do the towers a lot because I could only get through the first couple levels, and then I just forgot about them. But you want to make sure you're doing those first time completes on all the towers every time they come around, because that is where you're going to get your books for your talents. Even if you're not necessarily investing in a guardian right now, you want to make sure you're doing those towers so that you can get those uncommon books and rare books so that they're stored away and you got them on the rainy day once you get that character up when you need them. So make sure, do those towers, do those dungeons, and it will progress you a lot further than, well, me and where I'm at currently, because I wasn't doing them the first little bit. Now I'm doing them all the time because I realize how important they are, and I want to make sure you guys understand that too. Number 4 is going to come down to you actually controlling your battles. A lot of people are using auto throughout this game, and, well, it is the easy route, but I guarantee you, if you can learn how to use your guardians, you can learn to use the synergies, you can learn to use that dodge, you are going to be doing way better in this game. Now, I'm one of those that I really wasn't using dodge a lot. I just kind of jumped in there and was swinging around, trying to use brute force all the way through these events. And well, dodge really helps. One of the other things that can help with dodge is the fact that you can hold down your heavy attack and still dodge. Now, I believe this is something that was new and maybe actually came into the game at Zerg or right before Zerg, but I can tell you guys, this is a game changer. So continue to hold down that heavy attack, use your dodge, and you are going to do very well in this game. So that way you guys can do well beyond your current power level. And lastly, guys, for number 5, we're going to be talking about these famed crystals. Now, I know a lot of people love to go after these famed crystals. They want to get their guardians up as high as possible, but I'm telling you guys, do not use famed crystals when it comes to any guardian that is in the current pool. Now, the guardians that are not in the pool, I'm talking about Zerg, I'm talking about Mickey, Jack Skellington, whenever those famed crystals come around, or any of the other ones like Anna and Woody. There's a handful of these guardians, and you want to make sure that if you are going to invest in them, they are only available in these famed crystals, and those, well, they're still not great odds to open them, but I'm not going to be mad if you're trying to go after Zerg or something like that. But you want to make sure you really are hoarding onto those orbs, that premium currency. So you may get lucky, you may get that 5-star, that 4-star on one of your first 2 pulls, or you may be like me and you've opened up 20 something plus Zerg crystals, but that's okay. That's how this game works. And I just want to make sure you understand as you're putting your orbs in, make sure you're actually going after the ones that are special, that are not in that open pool. Anybody that's in the open pool, you have a chance at getting every one of the crystals that you open, and this is why you really shouldn't be buying those aerial orbs or any of those other characters that you really enjoy, but you can maybe get them later in a different way. So guys, those are my 5 tips, warnings, I don't know, the 5 things I did wrong so that you guys don't have to do them wrong. And with that being said, guys, I want to give a shout out to our brand new member, Adam French, who joined the Dan Cave here on YouTube. And appreciate you for supporting the channel, along with the other awesome members like Jose, Owler, and Doofus. So if you guys want to support the channel, just hit that membership down below. It's pretty cheap. There's a couple different tiers and lots of great content coming out soon. So make sure, leave a comment below. What's a mistake maybe you made that I didn't put on this list that I need to? And or what's one of these mistakes that I put on this that maybe you guys did make? I appreciate all you guys, and until next time, y'all take it easy.